These are the top 10 defensive lines in the NFL. Starting off at number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Look, they're not elite. They're not, but they're definitely solid. You got Travis Jones and Madubuike holding it down on the interior, and you just drafted Mike Green, who might be a sleeper from this past NFL draft. But with Mike Pierce retiring and no true edge threat, it's looking a little iffy, to say the least. At number 9, we got the Los Angeles Rams. No Aaron Donald? No problem. Well, kinda. And that's because rookies Braden Frisk and frickin' Jared Verse went nuts last year. LA definitely killed it in the draft. Also, Poona Ford had a top 5 interior rate last year, so the future is looking bright in LA. At number 8, we got the Denver Broncos. Now, you may not know the names on the roster, but this team has so much depth. I mean, they led the league last year in non-blitz pressure rate. That's only sending 4. Like, that's super impressive. I mean, Franklin Myers and Zach Allen are seriously underrated, and that's why the Broncos are at 8. At number 7, we got the Cleveland Browns, because you know what? Myles Garrett is still him. And you are exactly right about Mason Rudolph. Now, they did just draft the defensive tackle out of Michigan, Mason Graham, and that dude was a beast in college. But other than him and Myles Garrett, you really ain't got no one else. At number 6, you got the Detroit Lions. That's mostly due to Aiden Hutchinson, who had a 94.9 PFF grade last year, number 1 against edge defenders. And yeah, I know, he's coming back from a horrific leg injury, but the dude's young, and nowadays I feel like you can recover from injuries much faster and more effectively than you could in the past. Also, shout out to McNeil, because he kind of went crazy last year too, so him paired with Hutchinson, if they could do the same thing which they did in 2024, 2025 might be crazy. At number 5, we got the Buffalo Bills. Now, they don't have necessarily a true star, but they really don't have weak links either. Greg Rousseau's been a top 20 edge defender for 3 years straight now, and you just added Joey Bosa. If healthy, I know it's a big if, you might have yourself a good squad this year. At number 4, you got the Houston Texans. You have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson on both sides of the edge. Good luck. I will admit the interior is a little bit of a liability, but when you got Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, they can make up for that, no doubt. At number 3, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. They have one of the best interior lines in the NFL. Jalen Carter and Ajomo ranked top 6 in interior pass rush last year, and Jalen Carter looks like an absolute beast already. Even after losing Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, they're still looking like an elite defensive line going into 2025. At number 2, we got the New York Giants. Just listen to this. You got Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns. Bro, that is unfair. The Giants offense, yeah, that's probably gonna suck, but this defensive line is going to feast this year. I feel bad for any offensive line that's gotta face them in 2025. And the number 1 defensive line in the NFL is the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got TJ Watt, you got Cameron Hayward, and now you got the first-round draft pick, Derek Harmon. You had 3 edge defenders in the top 20 last year, and you had 2 interior defensive linemen in the top 30. I mean, this defensive line has been elite the past couple of years. All right, that's the list. Let me know who's 2